Getting back to the QDT, there are criteria, and this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So one of the first important elements of a QDT is that there must be what we call an electing beneficiary. And the beneficiary of the trust must, not may, but must qualify for the disability tax credit, which is a federal tax vehicle. And so the families out there will understand that there's a distinction between provincial disability and federal disability. And unfortunately with government generally, they don't speak the same language. And so what is considered disabled in British Columbia may not be considered disabled federally. To enable you to have QDT status, which again is lower marginal rates of tax, the disabled beneficiary must qualify for the DTC in the taxation year and every year thereafter. So if one year you qualify and then the next year you don't, you suddenly don't have a QDT. So that is a big challenge, and I think we all know that we have children out there that might qualify provincially, but may have a challenge federally. And this has created some real challenges because there are disabilities where historically the federal government has not fit within the DTC. And that's now problematic in terms of the trust being able to be declared QDT. The other thing is that the trust itself must have a named beneficiary. So it must actually name the person with a disability, and that person must then be eligible for the DTC. And the other important element of the criteria of a QDT is that it must be testamentary. It must be a death trust. So these trusts, a QDT only takes effect if someone dies and the trust becomes in effect. It won't apply to those living trusts that I spoke of at the very beginning of this presentation. The other important criteria is that the trust must be resident in Canada. It cannot be a foreign trust. And there must be a joint election with a qualifying beneficiary, which means that the person with a disability must also have the capacity to jointly elect that that trust is in fact a QDT.
And so could they have capacity of someone else, like a rep agreement?
And that would be the other vehicle is, and I might add though, I mean, that's my theory, Angela. Yep. I have to be honest, I don't think that the drafters have gone that far in their thinking. I think there is a general belief amongst my estate colleagues that a representative under a Section 7 agreement would have that authority, and that it would be feasible in the eyes of Revenue Canada. Clearly a committee would have that ability for sure.